The Giants, they came up short once again at MetLife Stadium as they fell to the Packers 27-20 in the Big Blue debut for Jameis Winston and head coaching debut for Mike Kafka. So let's talk some Giants football. We're going to do it with a host for WFAN, the one and only, my good friend Danielle McCartan joins me now. Danielle, how are you doing?
Dexter, another Giants loss. We have to stop meeting like this.
You know what? We should stop meeting like this. I guess my question back to you is, do we have any confidence that this is going to change? The next time we meet likely will be after a loss. Sorry, Giants fans, but just how the season's gone. Just It's rough times. I would like to talk to you after a win. Hopefully that happens sometime soon. Maybe not this year. We'll see. But Danielle, tough result for the Giants today at MetLife Stadium. What did you make of what you saw from Mike Kafka in his coaching debut as head coach for the Giants, and also the effort from this Giants team following the firing of Brian Daboll?
So the first thing I was looking for is the energy of the team. The team looked energized. They were making a lot of tackles in the open field. It looked good. Outside, of course, of no effort, Deonte Banks. We could talk about him if you like, but he is softer than Charmin, Deonte Banks, and we'll see next week if this was kind of just a burst because there was a change, any change, and we'll see if they could sustain that energy through next week. But look, should I have been expecting a win today? I mean, maybe, since everybody thought Mike Kafka would be a better head coach than Brian Daboll, but I did want to cut him some slack today in his first game ever as a head coach. All I really wanted to see from Mike Kafka today was good clock management and effective use of the challenge flag. There were no issues, major issues even, with clock management, but there was a challenge he missed. Let me take you back. It was 3rd and 3 with 12:36 to go in the first half. The ref called it an incomplete pass that Wan'Dale Robinson bobbled it. To me, Robinson made a football move upfield that should have been ruled a completion and a first down. Mike Kafka kept the flag squarely in his pocket. The Giants got no points, punted it away, and the Packers, on the very next drive, scored a touchdown. So +7 in the point differential for Green Bay because Kafka was too afraid to throw the flag too close to the other flag he threw earlier in the half. So I just want you to look at that final score and tell me, did that make a difference ultimately? Maybe, maybe not, but I wish he would have thrown the challenge flag there. So I don't know if I'd give him a failing grade for today. It's just those were the two things I was looking for. One was all right. The other one, not so all right.
You know what was interesting is even after that non-challenge, he was a little aggressive. He did go for it on 4th down a couple of times. I did like seeing that for the Giants. I was like, why not? You have nothing to lose, something I think Giants fans would have liked to have seen Brian Daboll do the week before. But you did see some aggressiveness in that regard, and there was effort from the team, minus Deonte Banks. I have a feeling we'll get to him again later. Giants fans not very happy with him, including my producer, Tommy Cohen. He didn't want to see him anymore. But Jameis Winston, first start for the G-Man. Pretty solid for Jameis Winston until the end when he threw a costly pick, which some people may say that is the Jameis Winston experience. And he did through that pick with the Giants trying to tie the game late in the 4th quarter. Danielle, how do you evaluate his performance, and was it the right move to make him QB1 today in Jackson Dart's absence?
Yeah, I don't want to block my face here, but on Jameis Winston's NFL career tombstone, it will say something along the lines of interception machine. I mean, that is just, like as you said, the Jameis Winston experience for those that my cousin, he's a Tampa Bay fan. He's like, well, he's a great quarterback. He doesn't do turnover. I'm like, wait a minute, what? The guy's a turnover machine. 3 times earlier in this game, the Packers, it hit him in the hands. They dropped the ball when he threw it to him. So based on his track record, having no interceptions all the way through that point in the 4th quarter, you knew he was bound to throw one at least today. It just so happened to be in such a crucial spot. But for the most part, he played well. And I'm sitting there watching on TV, and I couldn't help myself from thinking this. I said, being that Green Bay had such a problem stopping the Giants' rush today, I was thinking to myself, the Giants would absolutely have won this game with Jackson Dart. Regardless, Winston was the right move over Wilson for this week. And Dexter, I don't think that's a hot take.
I don't think so, especially with what we've seen from Russ and just how he looked, and no shade to Russ given the effort, but just wasn't looking good. I think the team in a whole needed a little bit of spark that you talked about. Part of the fight that we saw for today is not just Mike Kafka, but also, Fusion of saying, okay, this guy can give us a chance to win. And look, Jameis Winston gave them a chance.
He did.
Until he didn't. But
until he didn't. I was just going to say that.
But that is the Jameis Winston experience. But yes, I thought you made a good point about the fact that the Giants ran the ball effectively well today. Yeah. High percentage of their plays were runs. I think it was over 65% in this game. So they ran the ball really well today, and Jameis Winston was good till he was not. But let's talk about what you want to talk about, the Giants' defense. Because if we're going to be fair, they did blow another lead in this one. It was not a double-digit lead, right? So for me, you're right. For once, Giants didn't see them blow a double-digit lead. But do you look at this as a better effort from the Giants defense under Mike Kafka that should be celebrated? Or do you view this defense as a group that still needs more talent? There still is a long way to go for this defensive unit.
I don't even know where to start with this. It's like, let's celebrate the fact that they didn't blow a double-digit lead. It was just a single-digit lead. Be happy for that. I mean, come on. The question I still have is this, and I opened with this last night or I guess earlier this morning at 2 a.m. on the Fan. You could still check it out on the Odyssey app. But my question is this, like, how did Brian Daboll, how is his head the first head to roll here? I think it should have been Shane Bowen. He 33 points in the final quarter against when the Broncos played the Giants in Denver. I can't believe he was allowed on the team playing home, to be quite honest with you. This unit is just so bad. And there's really only one guy to blame. Believe it or not, it's not Brian Daboll and it's not Mike Kafka. It's Shane Bowen. I mean, look, I know there's games still going on now at the time of filming, but as we sit here right now, for as much as we've heard about this fearsome defensive line and Brian Burns and Abdul Carter, Kayvon Thibodeau, Dexter Lawrence, the Giants rank 21st in sacks this season so far. That is a unit that does have talent on it, and it's unacceptable that this defensive coordinator can't extricate that talent from that line. The next two levels of defense, which we knew had a serious question marks in terms of talent moving forward, but yet another game where this unit as a whole gave up a fourth quarter lead late in the game. I'm sick of it, man. And I am astonished that Brian Daboll's head was the first to roll. And I cannot believe, Dexter, that Shane Bowen is still employed by this team.
There are a lot of Giants fans I've heard from that feel that same exact way. And we have to take another step. I guess I'll follow up with you on this because you talked about the talent, and you're right. The talent was talked about in the front that the Giants would be able to get sacks this year. They're 21st in the league in sacks at the time of us recording this, and all that you said. And you talked about the second level. The secondary hasn't been good. Deontay Banks has not played well and has had the ire of Giants fans. But then how much of this falls on Joe Schoen in terms of the talent that he's assembled together here on this defensive side of the ball? Do you blame him for any of the defensive struggles that this team has had?
Yes. I mean, look, he made a good deal for Brian Burns. I mean, there were some good things about it. Deontay Banks, when he was drafted, I was like scratching my head like, yeah, really? That's the way you're going to go here? I mean, we could talk about I'm sure at the end of the season, we'll talk about the failure that was the New York Giants this year and where it went wrong. And Joe Schoen absolutely has a part in this as well. But as far as like, he can't do anything about it now. Like the team is the team, and it's up to Shane Bowen to get the most out of his team. And when I was in Chicago with my dad last week and we watched pass after pass, it seemed, by Caleb Williams was just looking for number 2 on the field and then targeting him. I mean, that's completely unacceptable. Today on a touchdown run right up the gut by the Packers from like, I don't know, it was like the 6 or the 7-yard line. I watched Deontay Banks almost with his hands in his pockets, even just try. Oh yeah, look at him go. I mean, that's on the defensive coordinator to pull it out of the players to play hard. And I'm not seeing these defensive players playing hard for their defensive coordinator. And that's a huge motivational problem. I think it's time for him to go. Let them pull in somebody else, the linebackers coach, the defensive line coach. Give that guy a shot because it's not working for Shane Bowen. And the sooner, the better.
So here we go. We got Danielle calling for changes in terms of the defensive coaches. Danielle, you're also the first guest to come on with me to work in a 6-7 reference. Pretty good there. Pretty good.
I hate myself for doing it.
You know what? I kind of understand for you how that probably came about, but Good for you. You were able to work it in. Last thing for me here, Danielle. Tough spot with Kafka taking over for Dayball here, and then trying to get guys to respond the rest of the way. But when you see this, when the team is 2-9, and you look at Kafka the rest of the way, what do you think Mike Kafka needs to show for the rest of the season to have a legitimate shot at landing the Giants head coaching job?
Kafka's got to win some games. I mean, he was promoted to do just that. The Giants felt that Brian Daboll wasn't winning them enough games. Well, here's Mike Kafka's shot to win some games. He's 0 for 1 so far. And I also go back to the main objective for the 2025 New York Giants. It still is, to develop the rookie quarterback. So I need to see, under Mike Kafka's tutelage, I need to see Jackson Dart improve, not just stay the same, and certainly not regress. He needs to actually improve over these final weeks of the season. I know this is an offensive-minded guy running the show, so I need to see Jackson Dart take steps moving forward. But personally, for me, I talked to Emmitt Smith at Radio Row back in February, and I was listening to him tell me how the Giants, Mike Kafka, didn't game plan properly for Saquon Barkley. So that's enough for me to say, Dexter, no thanks on Mike Kafka. How could you not figure out how to utilize the most prolific running back currently in the game in the right way? That's on Mike Kafka. And he also doesn't have head coaching experience. So in the last couple cycles, the Giants have seen that has not worked in their favor, hiring these guys without NFL coaching experience. And I know he'll have a couple games under his belt, but this cycle, the Giants should be looking for someone with significant NFL head coaching experience. And that is not Mike Kafka.
We will see what the Giants do, how they finish out the season. 6 more games to go. They are 2-9 on the season. Mike Kafka will be coaching the team the rest of the way, and we will see how Jackson Dart also is able to develop when he is able to return to the field. That is Danielle McCartan. Check her out on WFAN, doing a great job there. Also, always coming on with me to talk to the Giants. Unfortunately, too many times after a loss. Hopefully we can do it after a win, Danielle. Appreciate you.
I hope so.
I hope so, too.
All right, Dexter, I'll win.
Thank you.